Hey everybody, it's Yumeno, Loon. We're back in cars. So we don't want to say nothing, so I won't. We don't want to say this is going to be our last vid of cars. I do think we are starting to hit the point where we are like, okay, had enough cars. So we'll see how today's vid goes, and then we'll kind of plan from there. So it looks like the next place I want to go is just like over here, right? Because there's the, things over here.
Kids, don't try this at home.
Yes. Oh, okay. So Ornament Valley is like a different map, but attached to the exact same map. Just got too big to be one map on the GameCube, I guess. But yeah, I'm starting to feel like we've seen all that cars on the GameCube really has to offer, which is some okay racing, mostly. Like, nobody gonna say this game's... We're not gonna say this game's bad, it's just... At some point, it's just like, okay, it sure is a racing game with some open world parts. But it doesn't have much more to offer. What's this big thing flapping over there? But I guess I'm right here, so I'll just take the thing flapping right here. What are you guys up to? I guess we're doing the Ornament Valley Circuit. I was gonna do the Rust Bucket Racing Robin next, but that's the other one, so I'll do that one after this.
Hey, you're that Lightning McQueen guy.
Yeah, we're from Queens.
Barry. So, anyways,
You think my name being
got a,
Queen means I'm from Queens?
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. You think you're the best
What
race
was
car
that
around.
little
You wanna be the
thing?
best. First, you gotta beat the best.
And I take it that would be yous guys.
What, you don't believe us? Come on, tough guy. I will throw down which is right here, right now.
Yeah, throw down, down on the ground, on the road. Ow!
What is the bit he's doing?
Okay, guys.
It's kind of
no
like a
problem.
Joe
I accept
Pesci
your offer.
Goodfellas. If I just kind of vaguely knew what Goodfellas was about, and I only vaguely knew who Joe Pesci was. It's like if someone had described, not done the bit, because then you would really get the bit, but like described the bit to me. Like, hey, he's like an angry guy, and he's a little overeager. And I would be like, oh, like this? They would probably look at that and go, no, but that's fine. And I go, wait, I can change it. And they're like, no, cars ships tomorrow. That's good. It's good enough. That would be the way of things, would it not? I guess so. So Ornament Valley's a different place, but it's still the desert. Maybe what this game really needed was some more track place variety. Like, I know, again, you kind of have to be around Radiator Springs, but that... Radiator Springs had some greenery. Like, they go on that joyride. Ben and Sally. Lightning and Sally. We've been here. Wait. We've been here. We were here on the cop race. So this isn't even a necessarily new place. So the races are in their own world, apart from the open world. Is that why it has to make sure you get back on the track? Because you could start to drive out and it would just not be able to load anything? You'd hit an invisible wall? I wonder. Oops. Not a time to use boost. Do not boost in big, tight turns. That's like driving 101. You should maybe ease off the gas on the big turns instead of adding more gas to it. Why do you think there's this whole thing in this game about left to go right? Futaba chimed in with, well, that's just what the Democratic Party does. Funny. Good one. Yep. I guess we're here. So we did, so this, it said this will unlock the next Piston Cup race. So I'll do Rust Bucket, and then I'll probably do the next Piston Cup, and that'll probably be like, okay, that's enough cars. Because, I don't know. Cars is kind of... Well, it doesn't help that we kind of BTFO like every normal race at this point. Like, once you have boost, it is... Oop. Maybe not. Maybe not. No, never mind. It's just... There's not much going on. I don't know. It takes all the races around the same places. Kind of bores us. I bet this game kills in multiplayer, though. Do I? I don't actually think it does. I don't know. It has multiplayer, though. You can play any of these races. Like, we look at the arcade mode and we're like, should we show off arcade mode? But it's just like, do the races that you did in story, but on your own time. I guess you can be different characters there. That's something. Like, I don't think this game's a bad adaptation of Cars the movie. Like, it smartly knows there is not much to actually do in Cars the movie, and so it immediately says, okay, so we are going to go be like a semi-sequel where it's a new Piston Cup. Like, it gets you Piston Cup, it gets you Radiator Springs, you get to go all around the places. I think that's good, but it needed some sort of POW, you know? It's lacking a POW factor. What POW factor would we add to Cars? Now, obviously 2 was the World Tour, but they don't know that yet, so you could have made this game a bit of a World Tour. That would have been something. Now, this is just a movie tie-in game, so I don't expect, you know, more than the universe the movie shows. So I'm not, like, deducting points, but I want to just kind of brainstorm, like, how would we make a better Cars game? Okay. This is a little out there, but hear me out. Let's make it more of a sim. Not like an actual, not like Gran Turismo or Project Cars or whatever those fancy dancy sims are called. Like, not like a huge hardcore sim, but imagine just like, you know, maybe you can just change lightning stuff a little. Like, that would be a real interesting thing to add. So in the movie, like, the whole gang is like Lightning's pit stop crew. So maybe we could have, like, you know, you go to Mater to change out your stuff a little. Maybe you could even find... Ooh. I'm onto something. Maybe you could find objects in the open world. And then you take them to Mater, and Mater, like, cleans them up, and then it's like, well, you could put this on your car now. I don't actually have to take them to Mater. That's just an idea, part of the idea, but, like, now that you have kind of this element where you're changing your car a little for story mode. Now, in arcade mode, you could just have, like, you play as Lightning, you play as Sally, but since you're mostly just stuck as Lightning in this, I think it would be fun if you could change him some. Kind of tweak. Like, we have the different paint jobs, but I'm just thinking, like, full on, you can tweak his, like, stats with different objects. Maybe that could be something, and then it's like, the open world is much more of a finding new objects, so you'll be even better in the races. And maybe you can still do the races without good objects, but you're not going to do as good. I think that would be interesting. Is there a little more than they put into this game than they might have had time to? Yeah, probably. But I think that would have made the game pop a little more. Give it a little pow. It is not satisfying to us to simply play a licensed game and go, well, that was good or that was bad. We like to really think about what could have made this licensed game really good. What could have made this game better?
Otherwise, of course, most cars do not.
Well, I gotta practice for my race. I'm a real racing car now.
The Rust Bucket Racerama, huh? Let me guess. Demolition Derby.
Yep, it's my favorite racing track in the whole world. Well, it's a family tradition. Look, there's my cousin Tommy Joe right there. New guy!
That's me.
Ow! What are you crazy?
Thought I was gonna kiss him.
Ah, he just done give you a hood butt.
Hood butt.
Tommy Joe's way of saying hey. Howdy. I got an idea. Lightning, you want to help us practice for
Do
our big
I?
race?
No, I think I'll sit this
Oh,
one
I
out.
don't. Okay, never mind. Here I was like, yeah, I do. It's like, no, I don't want to do that. Okay, whatever. Yeah, I remember this demolition. I remember this being a highlight, but I don't remember. I remember this. I don't remember it. I remember they had the Demolition Derby in Cars 3. That was fun. That was a lot of fun. Oh my gosh, it's 12 laps of this, and then we're gonna do 12 laps of Piston Cup. I really think, I get 12 laps was kind of like the compromise. I think 12 laps is too much, my dudes. I think like 5 laps, 6 laps. 6 laps would have been plenty. Now, of course, on the, is anybody actually getting demolished here? I don't know. Of course, on the Piston Cup, I think 6 laps wouldn't have really given you time to get a pit stop, so that would have to be adjusted a little. I think that would have been much more reasonable. So I'm trying to think of other things you could do to make this game pop a little. So we need track variety. And maybe we don't do a whole world tour. And maybe our track variety could be like the team's going with Lightning on his little Piston Cup tour. So each city you go to has its own tracks that you do. And maybe you start in Reservoir Springs, Radiator Springs, Ornament Valley. But then as you go on, you start going like, well, here's Florida. Well, here's another location. Well, we are in the big city this time, Lightning. And then you could really get some track variety, because it's like, you could still have the Piston Cup races, which would really tie this together. But then you have more, you don't just have desert all the time. I don't really like how Mater Mater's so big is the problem. I can barely see in front of me because of Mater's extra height on him. Maybe if I, what was that button? Ah, that's a little better. I think Mater does a little better with the far back camera, so I can actually see in front of him. There we go. Now, there are a lot of Cars games, so I expect any idea I have is probably like, well, actually, this Cars game did that. Well, maybe down the line we'll see that Cars game, but I'm just thinking for now. I'm just thinking, we just came out of Cars, what are we doing? You know, we already have kind of the, we have Mac as a good way to get us around the country, even. I'm not doing very good on this race. Talked about BTFOing all the races. This one, not so good. This one we not so good at, it turns out. This is a strategy, but I don't really know it. Also, this isn't much of a demolition derby, given no one's getting demolished, but I guess that would be a little dark, huh? Dag-gum, I done killed my cousin. Dag-gum, Lightning. I'm not saying that. You can't. Okay, what's the word? I appeased you earlier, Futaba. I ain't saying that, though. You can say these jokes next time you front. Oh, you'll forget them? Good. Good, actually. We're not gonna talk about whatever Futaba just said. I can make it. I can still make first place. Will I? Doubtful, but I could. Dag-gum, 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 dag-gum. You just dag-gum. No, I'm not making first place. Second's not bad. He said something. I can't hear you over the engine sounds. Oh, Tommy Joe beat us. Okay, so let's go do the next Piston Cup race, and I think we are going to call it on cars. Oh boy. I rammed into a light pole. So yeah, there would have been just two more. Two more almost makes this like, well, we could just do those, but I'm pretty bored. I like how they're squinting like Sun Valley. I can barely see with the sun.
Ready when you are, buddy.
Cross Country Mac has got your back.
Oh, thank you, Cross Country Mac. It's a good thing you got my back. Like, again, we already have Mac going across the country. You would have had to develop more areas if you still want open world. That could be a problem. But I think also just having like a few races at each place would have been fine. Did we need this game to be open world? I don't know. Doesn't really seem like it to me, but I don't know, I'm just the player. What do I know? Oh boy, you guys, are you ready to drive in a circle for 12 laps? It is just so boring. So boring. I guess there's the thing about building your boost. I guess that is some sort of lightning customization. Oh, nice little... I don't often say this, but nice little skill point tree also would have just been fine. Like maybe something in-game I could spend my points on instead of just spending them on bonuses. I don't even know what the bonuses are. I assume it's like clips from the movie and stuff. Clips from the movie, concept art, the standards, characters for multiplayer probably. Like I assume there's nothing in there that I can actually spend here because you would just put that in here if that were the case. Stop trying to pass me. Get out of here. I guess I could look at the bonuses. Well, load times... The long load times also don't make us want to continue this game, but... Honestly, it's just... It's the kind of thing where if it was like a 15-second load, but when those 15 seconds are done, I have the time of my life. It would be better. And that's how it feels with the Piston Cup, too. It's like, man, we really don't like the Piston Cup races. But if it was like... You do a Piston Cup race, and then after you do the best race you've ever seen. I could go for a few Piston Cups. If you were giving me some real good tracks, I could stand a few of these. I could stand, what, 5 of these? All you do is change the skyboxes on each of these. It's just an oval. It doesn't matter that it's a different place, it's just an oval. Upsetting. Is this what NASCAR games are actually like? Like, do they have, like, different courses? It's like, oh man, it's time to go to Indianapolis. It's an oval. Oh man, it's time to go to the, Daytona Beach Speedway. It's an oval. I don't know. But, like, I feel like what makes NASCAR games real interesting is having sim elements. I feel like that's why this game really could have used some sim elements, because without that, there's just the pit stop mini games. It's like too much of a baby game, I guess, is the real problem with cars. It's too much of a baby game. Like, I get it, it's a baby game for babies who like cars and go, oh man, I love the cars. I like zooming around with cars. Like, fine, baby game, but... That's a weird alternating. I'm gonna be honest. Makes me alternate the weirdest buttons. X, Y, X, L, B. Okay. Like, this... And if you're gonna be such a baby game, just lean into it, I guess. Like, it's still trying to be a game that actually, like, people would want to play this, but it's crazy how I come into first by taking a pit stop. Like, if this was like 20% more baby game, I would be like, oh, it's just baby game. But it's like, they tried a little. And so I'm like, why isn't it better? You know? And every time you just do one pit stop. You do one pit stop because your car health just goes down automatically, and then on the second lap, it doesn't move at all. After we've done one of these Piston Cup races, it's just like you've done every single Piston Cup race. It's just the pit stop minigame changes a little. And I guess the AI opponents get a little harder, maybe? Theoretically. If this wasn't baby game.
I love being me.
This is... Like, I can't see any kid over the age of like 6 really getting much out of this game, is why it's like baby game. That's a pretty big age range, I guess, but I would rather play Mario Kart. Like, even when we were a kid and we just played Mario Kart on like 50cc all the time, I enjoyed that experience more than I am enjoying playing cars. Because at least then I know there is a harder version that I'm not playing, you know? There is a different Mario Kart for all those more expert. I guess it's really the thing, especially on like 360. The racing game market, the 360 racing game market was pretty crowded. Like, even just early 360, you had like Burnout Paradise, you had some Need for Speeds, you had then you go a bit, you get a whatchamacallit and Who's a What's It, Split Second, and the other one. The one that was like, this is Mario Kart for adults. You know that one? I know that one, but I don't remember what it was called.
Pack your trunk, pal. You're going home.
But yeah, like, the 360 racing market was pretty crowded. I don't think Cars had much of a place. I think a lot of the future Cars games focused more on like Wii releases, so it's pretty clear they knew there just wasn't much of a place for Cars on 360. You got MotorStorm over on PS3, that's right. I don't know, it's all a little too basic for anybody but little kids. And I look at not doing that race too well, and I'm like, man, would I want to do those 12 circle laps again? And I say no. So yeah, I guess this is where we're ending on Disney Presents a Pixar Film Cars on the GameCube. Cars is okay. Cars is it's not a bad game. We're just so bored, and I know there's not a ton of game left, but we're picking up the game to continue to be bored with it is not really an exciting experience. I think we give Cars a 4 for adaptation. It tries to introduce... It has some of the minor characters. It has some of the, like, random cars around. And it really does think about, like, hey, let's make sure all of the main cast has something that they provide for you. Like, they have quests, they show up. I like how the cars just show up randomly driving around. That's a nice feature. That's a nice little thing. But it's not very exciting or interesting, is it? You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go to, I missed the points I just picked up. I'm gonna go to the bonuses and see what kind of bonuses they have. So we're gonna give Cars a 4 for adaptation. I think for fun, we give it a 3. It's kind of It's kind of a mid 4 and a low 3, if that makes sense. Is that bonus content? You can get characters or concept art. Wow, it's like I just predicted it. Can I get new outfits?
You never know how you're gonna look till you try it on.
Oh, there's new. Oh, there's a lot of new colors you can get for Lightning. Well, that's cool. There's a bunch of different designs for everybody. That's cute, if nothing else.
You're never gonna want to take that off now.
Doc, Ramon, Flo, Sheriff. Yeah, it's just... Ooh, you can play as Wingo. I like Wingo. King. Monster Truck Lightning. Yeah, I think there's like a Monster Truck race at some point. Count Spatula. That's all the characters. Wait, so there's characters that show up, but you can't actually play as them. Concept art for cars unique to this game. Wow. I can see it. The only difference is that it has like a cost 2,500 in front of it. Well, at least this one. Oh, I can zoom in. Oh, okay. Yeah, I think Cars is just too simple a game. And even here, I'm like, wow, this is all the special stuff you have? It's just like, well, we made a different looking circle. That looks interesting, that mine. I don't know where that is. I almost feel like Rainboom was wasted on this. Because I see a lot more put into this environment art than I see in the actual game, honestly. Like some of these big zoom outs of environments. I have to finish our thoughts. I think this game's kind of simple and boring is its biggest problem, really. Like it's fine. It's not an offensive game in any sense. It's just like, well, you do the races. Where do you race? The same kind of places over and over, but in different configurations. And then once you do enough of those, you go to the Piston Cup races. Where are the Piston Cups? It's a circle, but with different skyboxes. It's like, it's an unambitious game. It doesn't really want to do anything more than what it does. I think that's a little sad. I think more than anything, that makes us dislike it a little more. Oh, that one almost looks fancy. Big oval. Yeah, it's unambitious. It doesn't have... There's nothing in this game where I'm like, wow, only Cars for the GameCube could do this. It's just Cars. It's just Cars. They were like, wow, what's the next Pixar movie about? Cars. Better put out a racing game. They did. Wow, how was the game? It was okay. Let's make 12 more of them. But yeah, that's Cars on the GameCube. I don't think this game's great. I think it's okay. Like, you can choose the different Piston Cup races, but it doesn't matter. It's all the same place. Oh, whatever. Like, it's not a bad game. It's just so basic, so boring. I don't know. We're done. We'll see y'all next time as we head back to South Park. Going about as opposite from Cars as we can. Bye, everybody.